Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on what is the traditional territory of the Coast Salish Nations. Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a budget reconciliation for December 2019. How was your December? Tell me down in the comments below. I'm an artist and educator currently learning about budgeting, investing, and becoming financially independent. If you're interested in what that looks like, go ahead and like, subscribe, do all the things. Okay, let's get into this. So I actually forgot during my wrap up a couple of transactions. One was just for the lift I took from the airport to my friend's house, which I already added in. And then the last one was kind of a big one. It's my siblings and I all split a gift for my parents, and my portion for Christmas, we celebrate Christmas. My portion was $75. So I went ahead and adjusted that in the reconciliation, and I'm just going to drop that $75 charge into that section. And now we're just going to kind of go through and hit the highlights. Got my notes right here. So for anyone else who's using every dollar, if you don't already reconcile, I just go through at the end of the month and I kind of write down what I planned. And then I go through and I make what I planned, make the planned column here match the received column. And that way I can see that I've still got an every dollar budget. Sometimes that means I have to move things around. I sometimes can move more into saving. Sometimes I have to move less into saving. And sometimes I've had to dip into my emergency fund in the past, which is not ideal. But anyway, let's get into it. So I had planned for $5,000 of income, and I actually made $5,432. So that's cool, a little extra. Everything else was pretty regular. Oh, actually, that's not true. I had planned for zero in the gift department, but I actually got $200 as a Christmas gift. So that was very sweet. All right, going on down. Sharing was pretty much spot on. I didn't put anything into my emergency fund. I, of course, put to my $200 of gift money into my me fund because, you gotta have a little me money, I guess. Moving on down below. In housing, everything was spot on. Nothing was like more than a couple dollars sort of different. I went just a tiny bit over in gas, which is not a big deal. I did drive to Seattle. I drive to Seattle twice this month anyway. I drove to and from Seattle to go to the airport. I do have an old car, so I don't get very good gas mileage. In fact, I was just watching Rebecca at Quest to Fire, and she commutes like an hour each way not every day, but many days a week for work, and her gas budget is the same as mine, and I commute like zero. So I think that is a testament to what a gas guzzler my car is. Okay, so going into daily living, a lot of things were different. I planned $300 for groceries as I usually do, and I only spent $197, so it's very low in groceries, which is honestly a shock. Like I do tend to like buy things kind of in bulk and sort of stock my pantry. So even if I'm not cooking a lot at home, that doesn't mean that I don't, still spend my grocery budget. So yeah, I mean, I guess I typically, if I buy fresh food, I'll use it all during the week and like my refrigerator will be empty, but I do usually have a pretty well stocked pantry of like dried beans and grains. And I also like, make beans and freeze them and that kind of thing. So yeah, I was kind of still eating a little bit out of the freezer from things I'd prepped this summer. And I definitely just wasn't stocking up. So I was over $100 under in groceries. However, I was over I was about $80 over in restaurants. So I'd planned for 100 and I spent 180. So that kind of came out in the wash. In household, I'd planned for 50 and I only spent 24, so I saved a little bit there. For health, I had planned 150. I don't know why. I think I actually was supposed to go to the dentist and I didn't end up going. I ended up having to reschedule. So maybe that's why. But I only spent 36 and that was for some herbal medicine. And yeah, so I was under over $100 there. So that was cool. Always nice. If I scroll on down to fun, I had planned to give myself $100 and I actually spent $224. So I was way over in that category. Although I have to say, looking here, the two big purchases that I made were new bras. So don't regret that decision at all. And a haircut. So yeah, I think those were important. Those were good things for me to spend that money on. So that's that. Scrolling on down, insurance and tax, everything's the same. Debt, I paid off my parents. So that was pretty cool. So I no longer have that debt payment. That's $300 a month that I was paying, that it will open up in my budget. So I was normally paying them $300 a month, but I had $1,500 left and I just wanted to be done in 2019 with this debt. So that's great. The only debt I have left is my student loans, and you may know I'm doing public service loan forgiveness. I'll talk a little more about that this year on this channel. Okay, so going into sinking funds, right? Because I had a little extra money, and this is where I get to deal with that. In sinking funds, I had planned to put 0 in my upcoming travel, which was essentially my Christmas money, all expenses related fund. So I had planned to not put anything in there, but I ended up actually having to put $120 in there because I was a little bit over. So, it's not great, but it's not the hugest deal. I mean, it is what it is. I'll maybe be a little more strategic. I was just so out of it by the end of the year that I was just lucky I had presents to give to people. So, and then despite being over in a few categories, I had planned to put $410 in the cat fund, and that would bring me up to 1,000, and I did that. So I'm now at 1,000. So I've reached that goal. And then I had planned to put $338 into the car upkeep fund, and I was able to put $665. So I'm at almost $700. I just need $300 in there to make my sort of first initial goal. So yeah, that was my month. It was fine, I think. For December, I think it was pretty good. And I will see you soon with my January plan.